Uno, dos, tres.
Catorce from of course Vertigo by the venerable U2, the wonderful band led by Irish malcontent Bono. He's always upset about something. And we're going to do the ad read at the beginning of the episode, which is an ad for us. That's what you need to do. Is you're going to go to patreon.com/Haus of Decline. That's patreon.com/HAUS of Decline. For as little as $3 a month, you get 30 comics. It's 10 cents a comic. Where else are you going to get a comic for 10 cents? It's twice more than a Nickelodeon, but as much as a Dime-Odeon. What you're going to want to do is head on to patreon.com new form of entertainment. /Haus of Decline. That $5 so yeah, that's patreon.com/Haus of Decline. And give them tiny go there right now. Mouse heart surgery and replace his heart. Forget about that mouse. Spend it on Haus of Decline instead.
Wow, mouse healthcare is cheap.
Yeah, it's subsidized in Canada.
How do they manage the open heart surgery for $5?
It's the mouse surgeons. They don't need a lot to live on. They're pieces of cheese. They can last weeks on a single piece of cheese. I guess like $1 buys a mouse food for its whole life. Yeah, think
about that. 1 year. It needs 1 year of food.
That was the premise of the great movie Downsizing with Matt Damon. Speaking of downsizing, that terrible segue. That has nothing to do with downsizing, the movie Downsizing. But it's February. It's the month of love. It's the second month. It's 2. That's 2 people. Instead of 1, it's January, the loneliest month and the loneliest number. But in celebration of relationships and affection and love in general, we have from the foremost relationship advice podcast, Radio Free Tote Bag, it's Dono and Audrey.
Yeah, we're both
dabbing. They're dabbing on. They're dabbing wildly. It's a whole field of tabs. The air horns are going off. All of the things are happening. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing great.
Bang.
I came with a crate full of breakbeat records because I thought this was Haus of Decline, the breakbeat artist.
Yes.
Is there a breakbeat artist named Decline?
Decline. DEEKLINE. Decline.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
that's his house. I had the wrong address.
You were mistaken. We don't play any EDM here. We don't. EDM? What's that?
Only IDM.
Only intelligent.
Only intelligent. Is there DDM? Is there like SDM? Is there stupid dance music?
That's
yeah,
what
it's called dubstep.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, they're dabbing again. They're just dabbing.
They're dabbing all over. Take that, bros from 2012. Dubstep sucks.
I'm still so bitter from that. I used to DJ during that time, and I was still bitter about Bros from 2012.
I'm doing so great today, I tell you what.
Do you have an opinion on a dubstep versus bro step thing, actually?
Yeah. Because, well, okay. I like Scream, right?
Scream. We all remember Scream.
Everyone remembers Scream.
With the K.
Yeah. Midnight Request Line is one of my favorite songs ever written by anybody. And then you got Scrolls. And that's hard to listen to. I don't like that.
Did you see Skrillex's new look where he looks like a very tiny Drake?
I hate it. Exactly.
It's very good.
Fucking bizarre. I mean, I was similar. I don't know. I was starting college around the time of dubstep being a thing, and I was getting into I got into electronic music from playing SSX3 on the PS2. Actually, there was a Roixop track on there called Poor Leno, which bangs. If you've ever heard it, if you haven't, you should listen to it. It's good. They're like a Norwegian electronic ambient kind of duo. They're real good. And I was like, this shit's great. I like this bleepy bloop stuff. And I'm listening to other kind of weird Scandinavian type shit like that. And then I go to college and my shitty, just pure in the 2012 sense, hipster, also lives on the dorm floor. It was like, check this out. It's dubstep. And I was like, this is so fucking crazy. I gotta go to these shows and ingest things.
I gotta go to my shows and harm myself sonically and medically.
It's speaking of relationships, it's funny to think about people hooking up to dubstep and like fucking
Yes,
to
it
dubstep.
is.
Yeah.
Everyone had a field day with that Seabat song. That was but for years, people were making out to Seabats every day. People were fucking to Seabats constantly. Hey, do you want to go back to my place and fuck?
I once told a girl I was hooking up with, I was like, I love Acid House, but never got to fuck to Acid House. She goes, we got to fix that. So I put on just, and we're fucking, it's like, how that went. That's my life.
I had sex to Rammstein with my first girlfriend. It was
that's
2007.
Du hast, bitch.
Du hast indeed.
It is very sexual music, Rammstein.
That's true.
No, it's pretty good. I stand them, and they got good politics. They're pretty fucking cool. You would think they wouldn't, but they really do.
Why? Because they're German?
Yes.
Why would you think Germans would have bad politics?
Because they wear uniforms? Because they're German and they're wearing uniforms?
Look,
I don't know.
Till Lindemann is great. Just a beefy bear of a man. I like the bit where they have the hose, the semen hose.
Yes.
And the band's keyboardist, who is the bottom, will, he'll like go, oh, it's bottom time for me now. Now is the part of the show where I get on all fours until, he puts the semen hose. He puts it's
right.
fake semen, of course. It's not real semen. We couldn't do
We
that.
have not sourced the semen from
Yeah. It is not
from the cow concern. We have not. This is not 100% beef semen. This is. I'm sure they're using Bad Dragon cum lube at this point because that's like readily available and very.
Bad Dragon. Oh, there is
that in
there is a lube
Yes.
that mimics semen.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Cutting edge of sex. Our program is. We know all about that shit.
They got like ovipositors too. You can get little like tapioca eggs to put inside your orifices if you like that kind of thing.
That's great. You can combine it with your Gwyneth Paltrow goop vagina egg
Yeah.
and oviposit that in.
Fire a jade yoni egg out of an alien tentacle into your pussy.
Now I'm just imagining like picking Gwyneth Paltrow up like a machine gun and then shooting eggs at people.
Squeeze it.
And that's
like
what
that's like the Banjo Kazooie power, right? Like
Yeah,
like the
you're
little
right,
chicken
you're right.
buddy fires the fucking eggs out. But it's Gwyneth.
Kazooie is constantly ovipositing onto people.
Banjo Paltrowie.
Paltrowie.
Banjo Paltrowie.
Why did you say it in Italian?
I don't know. That's just what was in my heart, Alex.
This fella, you got to go with it. Manjo Patrulli. I was speaking to a person earlier today about my dad was a muralist, and the best compliment he ever got was he was painting angels in an Italian mausoleum in the north of Toronto near Woodbridge, where there's a lot of Italian people. And a guy comes into the mausoleum one time, a tiny old Italian man, and he asks him a bunch of questions. What are you doing? How long you been working? And he actually has one of these voices. He actually has a, oh, you're from the old country. He said the old country. And as he's walking away, he says, hey, he may be a manja cake, but he paints like an Italian. And that was the best compliment he ever got. Are you familiar with the term manja cake? Because I think that might be regional to Ontario.
I have no idea what that means.
Manja cake
is eat.
Yeah,
But,
it's a cake eater is their slur for like white people, like non-Italian white people.
Yeah.
Manja cake.
Makes sense. We love cake.
We do
be
love
eating
cake.
Now,
Name me a
do they mean cake, the food, or cake as in the new way the youngsters are saying it?
Oh,
like it to mean ass.
To mean ass.
Munch
They're
the
ass
cake.
eaters.
My eye is twitching now, thinking of this insult. Calling me an ass eater.
Is it so bad to eat ass? Why are you so against eating ass?
That's pretty
It's,
cool.
it's a horrible insult to call someone.
I get you call somebody a butt munch. You can
Right.
call someone a butt munch.
But that connotes no finesse or love in the action. Like, I'm not lovingly munching my partner's butt. I'm eating their ass. It's different.
I like butt munch. It sounds like you have like big teeth and you're going. Bah, 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 bah.
You get juicy teeth and you're just chewing into a butt.
It's
They're
the
like
butt
Pac-Man.
munchers.
Yeah. That was, you remember Math Blaster? There was Math Blaster and Butt Muncher.
With Number Munch?
Number Muncher. There was Number Muncher, right? And you changed to Butt Munch. These elementary school math games.
Yeah.
These elementary school educational games.
I played a lot of Math Blaster, actually, because we had a PC from 1995, and that's all the motherfucker could run.
Yeah.
So that's what I did for fun for a long time, was play Math Blaster.
Yeah.
I bet you learned so much about math.
Oh my God, I could do times tables like a motherfucker.
For real, you'd like go to the computer lab and you boot up Inflator. You remember that shit?
What?
Inflator.
The old Inflator game.
Another one of those educational games.
Yeah. Oregon Trail and Inflator. How do we get onto Inflator?
Are you thinking of Dig Dug? What are you talking about?
That's true.
That
they do get
kind of
inflated in Dig Dug.
Fuck yeah, you like
doing the Rammstein cum pump into the
God.
bad guys.
I didn't even think of that. That's upsetting. Yeah, you got a little like thing you stick into them.
Yeah. Traumatic insemination like a flea.
Oh, it's all underground, just digging around in the muck, inflating each other. Oh.
Yeah. The band Incubus seems playful, but that's what they're actually doing. Whenever you listen to the song Drive by Incubus, you know who's behind
shows.
the wheel. And it's traumatic insemination, like one of those Beatles. So this is a relationship. This is relationship advice part 2.
It's so true.
Eventually we'll get onto it. We scrawled down some topics. Some various relationship topics.
And we can check cum inflation off the top of that list.
Cum inflation gone. We've said the final words on cum inflation.
I had one thing I wanted to say about math games, like in the 90s. There's one that I had, and I don't remember the name of it. So if anyone listening knows of like a math-based, where you had to solve math problems, but it's a first-person shooter. Was Math Blasters a first-person shooter?
It was not. It was a series of mini games.
So I had one that was a math game that was a first-person shooter, and there was like you were like on a spaceship, and it was pretty wild. And so if anyone listening knows, email houseofdecline@gmail.com and maybe suggest what it might have been, because I haven't been able to find it. But on to the relationship questions.
Well, they're not even questions. They're just more suggestions. They're topics. They're feelings. They're gestures.
Relationship suggestions.
Yeah.
Be open up.
Sure, yeah.
Be vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just some general advice, just some casual general advice. Clean your genitals.
Got to.
Clean them.
Scrupulously clean.
Unless that's your partner's not into that. They want it a little dirty.
Scrupulously filthy.
Yeah. But yeah, even then, you got to pay attention to your genitals and to the needs of your partner. Or maybe it doesn't involve genital stuff. Who knows? There's lots of... This is why we're talking about related. There's so many permutations out there.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn here and pat myself on the back for having a clean penis. But I've heard so many stories, like since starting the show, and like a couple of people I've dated. Like I knew that I guess I heard like the whole meme of like dudes not washing their ass because they think it's gay. I thought that was a bit for a really long time. And then I've heard from multiple people like, no. And I think Audrey, I don't know if I remember if it was Reddit or the question box, but somebody wrote in that their partner kept leaving like skid marks on the bed all the fucking time, which is fucking insane. But then even more than that, the like not washing your penis thing. Cause I don't even like, oh, it's gay your butt. Like that's fucking stupid and nonsense. But like, I get the mind of a stupid cis person who's like, that's too much. Can't be touching the dirt button. It makes me gay or whatever. But you gotta hold your penis to pee. Like you can't not touch it. Why wouldn't you just?
And it's too good. Like touching your penis is too
great.
good.
Yeah.
So like they're like, well, I guess if touching my butt is gay, touching my dick might also be gay, but it's like too good to not do it.
They go in butts, and that's pretty gay. So I can't touch it.
Yeah. It's just the potential for them to be in an ass is too much for me.
It's too high.
I can't handle that.
That's fucked up. There's like dudes walking around there still with stinky cock and ass, and What a way to live. That's
How
fucking
you doing
crazy.
that?
Yeah.
That actually segues very nicely into our first discussion of topic, which was toilet room stuff.
Toilet room stuff.
Toilet room
Relationships.
stuff.
Toilet
Room stuff and relationships. How do they
love
fit
toilet
together?
stuff.
Like puzzle pieces? Like those
I had
autistic puzzle pieces?
had
Which is
sex
a
on a
weird
toilet
symbol.
once.
I can't believe they went with that symbol initially.
Well,
Very strange.
you generally do, or do you not fart in front of a new dating person?
I started, or I have entered the physical phase of a new relationship this week. Is how I will
Whoa.
choose to say this.
the physical thing.
Hello.
It's so that was excellent, and I was holding
Next
a fart
up,
for
gas.
2.5 hours, and then we went to get dressed, and I was crouched over my garments, and I picked them up, and I couldn't help myself. I ripped
Yeah.
ass for a solid 45 seconds.
No.
And I was looking at her, and I was like, just cackling, like I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, it's funny.
And
It's
she goes, so I can do that now also. Like, yes, you can. I said that was always an option. You could always do that.
That is like a benchmark for intimacy. Like
Yeah.
that's something that I consciously like recognize because I fucking like new people. I have enough kind of like embarrassment where I'm like, I don't want to do this. What if they hate it? And what if it's horribly stinky and they leave me forever kind of
Yeah.
thing. But the first time you just kind of blast one off and they're like, ah, nice. And then they do one too. And you're like, okay, we're like comfortable around each other now.
Yes, you've broken the fart seal.
That's been
I
I
know my
try to do
partner's
it immediately.
Get it right out
Break
of
the
the way.
ice right away.
First thing that happens.
hello.
Okay. I do not enjoy holding them in.
They're awful.
I don't like being in class. I don't like being in church. I think all of the things I don't like being in public for are because I hate holding it in. Mm-hmm. And I was just at a very noisy restaurant the other day, and I realized that one reason I love noisy restaurants, if they're really noisy, is I can just fart
Yeah.
without
Nobody
any
knows.
fear. And
That's why you go to the new sushi place in town that always has a DJ for some reason, and it's just loud as shit in there constantly.
I've never been to a place with loud music.
It's awful. Like, it's the worst. Like, you can't talk to anybody. You're trying to order, and you're like,
It's a nightmare.
the Saba sashimi. It's too loud.
Yeah.
There's a Korean, speaking of fucking dubstep, there's a Korean barbecue place in LA where they would like, and at a certain time, they would really crank it up. They had like DJ also and like playing bro step kind of wah, 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 wah music. And you're like trying to get the fucking brisket onto the hot pad thing and back to you. And you get this, you can't fucking hear anybody. What
Miserable.
a bizarre choice.
Some
I
people
wanna
like
see,
to
like,
not
a
hear
YouTube
each other.
video of that. I want to see that. You have to send me the name of that restaurant. I'm going to see if
Dubstep?
they have any like live in restaurant.
I think it's Mo Depot too. And if you got any LA people, I get the impression it's a bigger KBBQ place.
California's wild. They got all kinds of restaurants out there.
California is what they do.
They have all sorts of
California.
fusion cuisines.
Yeah.
That's like when two foods love each other very much and they hook up with one another.
I like the idea of cuisines hooking up. That's hot.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because you could immediately get sort of like racist with it, like G Gundam. What if we drew Mexican food but really hot, but also, give her some stuff from Mexico, give her like a little sexy sombrero or something.
Yeah.
The sombrero robot. Jesus fucking Christ. Wait, toilet time. I
Toilet
fucked
room
on a
stuff.
toilet once.
I
This
got
just
one.
like
You
awakened
fucked
the
on a
memory.
toilet once?
I fucked on a toilet once
Wow,
with my
on
first
the
partner
toilet.
on the toilet. She had like a friend visiting, and we're like 15, and her friend's like in the living room or something. There was some way we couldn't have sex on account of this friend being there, and it's like the middle of the night. And so we just fucked on the toilet for some reason. And then the friend
so
came
weird.
into it's bizarre. I was on a lot of kind
Not
of
over the
antipsychotics at the time.
Not
It
on
wasn't
the
in the
floor.
bath.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there was a bath in there, but just sitting on the damn toilet. And then the friend like groggily goes to the bathroom in the middle of the night. We're fucking on the toilet. I haven't thought of this in 15 years. Why did I do that? That's such a weird thing to do.
No, that
And-
makes sense to me.
Yeah. Oh,
sense
thank
to me.
you. Thank you.
You
added
know,
in
it's
the-
a chair. It's private.
It is a chair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a room with. I mean, my question: why didn't you lock the door?
Yeah.
Great question. Fantastic question. I have no idea. Maybe because I was on a fuck ton of Seroquel at the time. That's kind of a fugue zone for me.
Keep you going though.
Yeah.
In a
You
certain
ever
way.
just fuck on a toilet on a heavy duty antipsychotic?
Yeah. That sounds cool. I like that part the most.
I was
Actually.
kind of a cool guy.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons did a lot of fucking on the toilet, but he was taking shits at the time. He is supposed inventor of the blumpkin, as he calls it. Which, for people that don't know, a plumpkin is when you're getting blown while you're taking a shit on the toilet.
Just seems rude.
Yeah, it seems weird to subject someone. Well, I don't know if you're into the shit stuff.
I guess.
I'm not into the shit stuff, but I enjoy pooping and I enjoy getting head.
I think that's the idea. It's like the George Costanza, mixing food and sex. It's you're flying too far,
Well,
It's decadent for sure.
combining the pleasures.
and you,
You
could add
could-
to the decadence with your
Yes.
hands.
Yeah. You could eat a pastrami sandwich while taking a shit while getting blown,
Yeah.
Nice.
while somebody else massages your feet.
Oh,
There you go. Get the whole
Whoa.
package.
Maximum.
You're just taking care of.
Yeah, on DMT.
While you're on DMT on the fucking moon, man.
All the pleasure power. You're just in that weird contraption, that weird semen contraption that Jordan Peterson was in.
Bro, these machine elves were sucking me off left and right. I was pooping fractals, man.
Have you ever been sucked off by a paralysis demon? By a sleep paralysis demon?
I think
I've
there's
never
been
had
some
sleep
attempts.
paralysis.
There's been some attempts. I do a lot of it's like combat on the astral plane at night.
Hell yes.
I'm kind of like the Sandman. I'm kind of like in that universe of action heroes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like a concept. What if a British guy was like a concept? and he was also Robert Smith from The Cure.
right. So cool.
Seal, man.
He was like a lot of new wave music.
I read that whole fucking series. I could not tell you a single thing that happens in it. It just let it wash over me. I remember really liking it at the time, but I don't remember a single goddamn thing from it.
It's
What
a
is
Neil
this?
Gaiman. So all the Neil Gaiman books is you have to find 3 things and then something will happen. Got to find
Okay.
3
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Like a Triforce kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was watching American Gods. I just want to just a brief aside to say the American Gods television show intro is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. It's so
Okay.
much galaxy brain like incredible thoughts from the movie Popstar. There's an astronaut who's crucified. Whoa! There's a Buddha of pills, man.
Oh, holy fuck.
It's Abe Lincoln taking a shit and getting blown on the toilet on the moon.
Yeah, that big brain stuff. And that show is weird. I don't know. It's sort of, Neil Gaiman stuff in general. I sort of hit or miss for me.
Yeah. I read the one that he did with, it was Gaiman and Pratchett, The Good Omens?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw the series for that. I was on a real Gaiman kick. I don't know
Yeah.
why. And
I had a partner demand that I read it. She was like, you have to. And I was like, okay. And I was like, fine. It's just demons and they're like driving around in a car, being real British.
yeah, it has that British thing where it's like British people are obsessed with being clever. And standing around in a room and being clever. And being, aren't we clever? Aren't we coming up with so many clever things? And it's not funny. You need to distinguish funny from clever because
Yes.
it's like a bunch of things that are like, oh, you made a mild amount of mental effort to make this pseudo joke. You know,
Wow, there was a logical leap involved in that comedic premise.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is a funny walk that you're doing. I don't know a lot about British comedy. That's my one point of reference.
that's all you need to know
Old
about British
Office,
humor.
I guess.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais. What else? The young ones. Bill Oddie. You don't know about Bill Oddie?
Okay, like Young Ones actually bangs though. Like that show was very funny.
Yeah, that show is very funny.
What's the Mitchell and Webb show, Peep Show, the first
Peep Show
person
is good.
traumatizing show. That shit's good. Shout out to the Brits for that one.
Yeah, their
But then,
sketch
like,
show is
the-
also good. They of course came up with the great "Are We the Baddies" sketch.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
But then they got shit like the fucking IT crowd with that Quasimodo turf motherfucker who every
Yeah.
time I see his face, I just want to stomp it into a pulp really bad.
I
That's
watched
not
a bunch of
actionable either.
the
Wait, he's a
glitter
turf?
shows. Yeah,
Graham
glitter.
Blind, yeah, huge. He doubled down on it. His fucking wife
He's not
left
the
him.
most. He's not the most important character in that show. I don't think. Right? Is he?
Well, he was like this writer or something, right?
Yeah, he's the writer. He wrote and created a bunch of series that I enjoyed. Father Ted and Black Books and stuff like
Oh
that.
no,
Yeah.
Black Books guy is fucking turd.
It
No,
sucks.
not Dylan Moore, not Bill Bailey or Dylan Moran.
Right,
They're both chill as far as I know. But yeah, the guy that wrote it,
creator.
Graham Linian. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is you don't need to be a good person to be funny.
Yes,
We've said
no,
this on the show
in fact,
before. Yeah,
Some very
Unfortunately.
bad people are incredibly funny.
yeah. They're different categories. I think that's why we sort of got tripped up in comedy for a bit because people started believing that if something's funny, it must mean it's good, and
Yeah.
people weren't able to like separate those ideas in their head.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
But I think, that's people tell people to not take comedians seriously, but humor is a very powerful rhetorical tool.
Yes.
Humor is all about logical flaws and inconsistencies. So
And if you suggest that someone being transgender is a logical fallacy, then you are invalidating a whole swath of human experience. And fuck yourself for doing that.
The turf
no,
stuff
I
is
laughed
awful.
at it, so it's good. It's right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The turf stuff is awful, but I just particularly hate the look of this fucking guy. I hate it so much. He keeps popping up on my stupid. I had to block him so I'd stop seeing his stupid little profile picture with his uneven eyes and his gross little British haircut.
Obviously. Well, he's
God.
Irish. He's Irish. We're gonna make
come
fun of the
on.
Irish people.
No,
No.
fuck. The country that produced hot people like me also produced this bitch.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I was, the twisty guy in the X-Files intro. I was posting about the twisty guy in the
yes,
X-Files intro.
yeah.
And I was like, that's Glinner. It looks like glitter. Or it looks like he is in the process of like a baseball is he's getting hit in the face with a baseball, but constantly. And you're seeing like the impact. It's like an exaggerated cartoon impact, like a soft body impact. Don't body shame. You shouldn't body shame anybody. But sometimes some people are just very interesting looking. And you
Particularly
can't
this
stop commenting
motherfucker.
on it.
It's like the line I always say on RFTB. Somebody writes in and they're like, "I'm ugly and nobody will ever love me." I'm like, Steve Buscemi fucks. Like,
Well, Steve Buscemi's
He was
hot. I think he's hot.
He's attractive when you watch a young movie with a young Steve Buscemi. He's very
Like
attractive.
Airheads, where
He's
everyone's
weird.
so hot in that movie.
Yeah.
Hot young Adam Sandler, hot young Brendan Fraser.
I watched that actually pretty recently because I set my Roku to alert me when it came on the streaming, and it did not long after that. Love my Roku.
Oh yeah,
Shouts out to Roku.
talk
You
about
don't have
Roku
a
for a
Roku.
second.
Let's just talk about how good they are.
Aren't they? Isn't there some like weird right wing cult associated with Roku or something? Or like the heads of Roku are like weird right wing guys?
Interesting.
That's cool. I mean, that makes me like them more.
No, wrong. You shouldn't. The mayor of Roku City shouldn't be a Republican. The mayor of Roku City should be Lula. We need Lula.
I thought you were saying they're like some kind of sex cult.
No, that would be cool if they were a sex cult. The Roku sex cult.
I thought
right wing sex cult.
Okay, cool thing. Anyway, what do you guys think about these bathrooms that have the two sinks?
Oh, decadent.
It's good. It's good to have because maybe you want to both brush your teeth at the same fucking time, and that's
I moved
pain in the
in.
ass.
I moved in with my partner like 2-3 months ago now, and prior to that, we were both living in places with like the bullshit sink pedestal where there's like 2 inches on either side. There's no fucking counter space. Miserable. You're trying to get ready. Ooh, ooh, let me squeeze by. Oh, we're bumping into each other constantly. And it sucks. And that can be such like a cute little, we're getting ready for bed together thing. And it just ruins all of it. And we don't have 2 sinks now, but we have much more counter space where we can sit next to each other. And we had 2 sinks. You spit into the sink at the same time. You make eye contact while you're hawking that foamy toothpaste spit in. That's heartwarming shit right there. I'm pro 2 sinks.
I too am pro 2 sinks.
Pro two, you saying you need a 2 sink solution is what you're saying.
Absolutely. From the river to the sea will be free.
Yeah.
My sink keeps getting smaller, though. I don't get it.
How is this sink split into 2 tiny sinks? They can't access each other. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why are all these checkpoints at the sink board? You're gonna stop. What was yours, Audrey?
Something about like, why can't this soap vote? I don't know.
Yeah. What was your
Okay,
sink reel
okay.
Palisink riff? The West Sink.
Palisink. The West Sink. The Gaza Strink. That's nothing. Cut that.
This leads me to actually a very important relationship question, and one that, in terms of having separate accoutrement for each partner, sleeping together, like literally sleeping together in the same bed. It's a cultural more, and I find so many people are resentful at their partners because their partners have like the Jimmy legs, or they got cold feet, or they hog the covers or something. There's always some sort of sleeping catastrophe, and all of this could be solved if they had separate beds.
2
or
bed
they have
solution.
separate covers. Yeah, 2 bed solution.
Yeah.
Have you encountered this? Have you ever been with a difficult sleeper in your relationships?
Yes.
I am currently. I am a terrible sleeper, for one thing. So there's always if I'm in a relationship with somebody, there's always somebody who sucks at sleeping in the relationship. I snore, I snatch the covers, I roll around too much. I have too many requirements. I have this pillow that's shaped like a sushi roll that I have to have between my legs so that my knees are like spaced properly so my back doesn't get fucked up. And then I have a blahage. Everyone's familiar with trans icon blahage.
Let's go.
Hug the blahage, and I got my pillow here, and I sometimes have to have a pillow under my feet too to like.
Yeah, you got your whole pillow apparatus.
Yeah, I gotta have that, or it's not good. And my current partner and I, the one that we would sleep in the same bed. We're polyamory. I have multiple partners. Anyway, blah 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 blah. But my the partner that I might one day marry, hopefully. Oh, I love you, babe. I'm sure you're listening.
Wow.
Ooh.
She can't sleep for shit either. She's a big snorer. So like it's basically whoever gets down first is the one that gets to sleep. And that's not fair. So I think a 2-bed solution might be in the cards eventually if we can.
Yeah, if you had the ability, because there's a lot of stigma though against having the separate beds or separate bedroom. Back in the 60s or 50s, they're sleeping in separate beds. I don't know about that.
Oh,
right.
I guess although in the TV they would always sleep in separate beds just to indicate that there was no funny stuff going on.
Right. We're both trans femmes and we're poly and we don't, that's the least of our worries, whether or not people give a shit if we're sleeping in the same bed, Mm-hmm. We'll just go for that too.
You're not offended by the Puritans. You're not counting the opinions of the Puritans is what you're saying.
Correct.
The people who would go to Leave It to Beaver and say, I sure hope June Cleaver's not getting her ass fucked right now,
I'm always saying this.
Is getting her ass fucked right now.
Yeah, I hope she's having a successful and fulfilling anal sex life.
I've had a lot of trouble with that in the past because I've had pretty fucking awful insomnia, and I roll around and I thrash. I even like lash out in my sleep rarely, which is terrifying. Luckily, I've never harmed anyone, but have definitely woke up like lunging towards a partner, which is very frightening. But that's been like I've had nothing but full beds until recently. And so I was sharing a full with my girlfriend in the past 7 months, staying with each other most of the time. And yeah, that shit's fucking miserable. And like in college, my partner then, we're sharing a fucking twin bed. We were long distance. I could visit her, crammed into that shit. Goddamn miserable. And like, you kind of have to have that conversation of, it's like sometimes I got to go sleep on the couch, and it's not like a thing.
Yes.
It's not like a dig at you. Nothing's wrong. besides my sleep cycle, and I need to be somewhere calmer. But we just got this fucking king size bed like 2 weeks ago, and it's like sleeping on opposite sides of the continent. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. I'm going to bed last night. She just thrashing around in her sleep a little bit, and at one point just sticks both her legs straight up in the air under the covers, like an L sit. And I like looked over, and she's not. I did kind of just gently. Okay, put him back down. But like you got enough room over there, like you're kind of undisturbed. You could throw a pillow in between you if you need, if you need a little buffer zone.
Mm-hmm. So mattress size is important, it's not just the mattress lobby is not just
let me break in here.
Blowing smoke
full of crap.
Let me break in here because we have a queen, which is big enough for us, and a pillow wall down the middle, right? But there's if you buy a really nice mattress, you can get these spring types that aren't all like super connected. And so when one person gets off on one side, the other person doesn't really bounce.
Yeah.
You get the expensive version of the mattress, and this is really worth it. Like if you have enough money, buy like the best mattress you can. It's like so important. Don't buy a shitty mattress.
It's pretty great.
You get this mattress where you don't, because a big thing about I have to get up and use the bathroom or whatever.
Yeah.
Our mattress doesn't bounce that much when I do it. And that's been really crucial. But I'm an advocate for 2-bed solution, but I'm overruled. So I have to make a pillow.
Yeah, you got to go to the one
Use
bed.
promo code House of Decline at purple.com.
Yeah, we're mattress people now.
Well,
We've got it on the mattress trend.
Instead of because we have the 1-bed solution with a dividing wall, so there's like a lot.
Yeah, with a security checkpoint.
Yeah. You are being who is Israel in this situation?
Right. Which one of it's a gay relationship? Which one of you is the Israel?
Yeah. We all know that couple.
Yep.
That's such an awful thing. Posting like a picture of Israel Palestine and going me and who. That would be the worst thing you could possibly do. You couldn't do that.
I'm lightheaded now. That's.
Don't do that. Is what we're saying. Don't use that as a meme. You don't. They're not a. If they would be a relationship, it would be one where one is very abusive to the other one in a one-directional sort of way. Yeah, so not unlike the relationship between the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that your thing? Whenever we hang out, you just bring up the Joker and Harley Quinn?
It's a classic flawed relationship. How am I not supposed to bring it up?
So really good analogy, Alex.
Yeah. I think. Next topic about relationships, trad wives. Are we for them? Are we against them? Are we? What are we doing with all these goddamn trad wives?
I saw one today. There's a young woman, and she's got kind of like her hair is tied up in like a weird ponytail thing, and she's got like her hair blowing out the one side, and she looks so happy in the picture. She's wearing like a sleeveless top, kind of low cut, and then under that it says something like alcoholic, bisexual, like all the things that she was at the time, right? At the time of that picture.
Cool
the next photograph, she has long flowing blonde hair with a little like a bandana holding her hair back, and this cute little dress, and it says homeschooler, Christian, all this shit.
Jesus Christ.
She looks so much happier in the one where she's supposed to be like, doing the wrong thing, Mm-hmm. She's like got more of a vibrant smile. So like
that is false happiness. That is the devil's happiness.
Yes.
Right. Well, yeah, of course.
Transitory.
Fool's happiness. Not a fan. I don't support trad wifery. Just be regular fucking married couple dorky shit. Like there's good stuff in there without ooh woo woo. I'm wearing like a fucking bonnet and I'm waiting for my husband to come back from the. I don't know. What does a fucking husband even do
the war
in the trad world?
The war.
Yeah, I guess so. That'd be kind of their thing. It's just give new material. Come on. I know trad is in there, but spice it up.
How do the Brooklyn people do it? Because this is like part of that whole weird return to Catholicism stuff as well you get with a certain type of Brooklyn person.
Some of these fucking weirdos, yeah.
But you can see the lives of actual trad wives, because you can see the Orthodox Jewish women on the train. They do not look like they're having a great time.
No.
They do not.
No.
I've never seen like an Orthodox Jewish woman on the J train jumping for joy, you know? They're
Just having the best time.
just like texting with their friends happily or anything like that.
Not on a fucking Saturday, I'll tell you that.
In
that
Need a Sabbath goy for that. You're right. You need a Sabbath goy, which is my Black Sabbath fan club are the Sabbath goys.
I lived in Arkansas for a good stretch of time in grade school, and like I've also seen this in Ohio. Audrey, you probably know some of these types. There's a certain type. So I'm 31. There's a type around my age of. I mean, they're just kind of normies, like very conventionally attractive women who get engaged very shortly after high school. And they're shitting out kids, and they're just always posting wedding and shower things. Like, it seems like that's the only thing they ever do. And the husbands are just kind of gumpy looking dudes and a button down and like a dorky little smile. And they do seem very genuinely happy. They also seem like a haunted doll or something. Like there's an uncanny valley to all of it. Yeah. But they're just posting this shit all of the time, and there's just like clones of this women and guys all over the Midwest, all over the South. A lot of the lived in Nashville too. So many of this type in Nashville, and I don't know if I would call them, because I mean it is trad shit, but they feel like a distinct genre. Yes. They're not like the Catholic. Ooh, everything needs to be covered. We're covering our hair in church. Like we're going back to the real old shit.
They still embrace technology. There's not like a weird Ludditism associated with it.
Well, that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me about the trad wives, which is they have to be high tech enough to constantly post, like they're constantly using their phone.
They love it.
I need to post about my butter churning. I need to use a complicated butter churning algorithm to get all the best butter churning videos.
The thing about the women that you're describing, Donovan, they will go fucking party too. Like that's the thing. Like they'll get a sitter and go fucking have a good time with their friends or whatever.
They get drunk as fuck for sure.
They get hammered. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
And that's kind of like a thing. Yeah, but that's what I think of with trad. But it's like its own distinct. It's like new Coke and original Coke or something like that. I don't know if that's even a good analogy. They're just like 2010s trad.
Yeah.
Trendy trad.
It's before they embraced right-wing politics, essentially. I think the part of the tradness is that you have to eschew all vestiges of liberalism or, God forbid, leftist ideology. Yeah.
Well, these ones I'm talking about they're Trump supporters, but they're not like the over the top, super performative ones. Like they're just kind of the most white bread people on the fucking planet.
I do know. So like, I do know some of the, we have to come up with I don't know, Kings Mills chicks, like from our hometown, basically the girls that we knew growing up. Like I know a few of them that are like, fucking man, Hillary should have won. You know, like they don't hold the same kind of right wing politics necessarily. This flavor that we're describing,
but they're like moderates at the most. They're like a lot of them would describe themselves as not very political, probably.
And a lot of them unfriended me over Bernie. So yes.
no. Bernie, I'm losing all my old Stepford friends because they're. I shouldn't call them Stepfords because that's mean. That's reductive. You shouldn't be mean to it. But it seems like somebody who is just like whisked by the general tropes of society. It's like all of the most common tropes are good enough for me, and I'm fine with abiding by all of them. And that's a fine way to live your life. I'm not judging that way to live your life.
Propagate the fucking species. Tell you that.
But it's so weird to like go through your life because my immediate thinking of everything was I'm gonna do the opposite of what you tell me. You tell me to like this, I'm gonna do the opposite. Like, and it's so weird for me to like to see people that don't have any of that, even that petty rebellion instinct in them. Right. Like, how do you live your life without that?
They're the people that censorship works on, where they're like, oh, that should. I guess if they're saying it should be censored, it should be censored.
Right.
I won't investigate further. Gonna go to Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, get your Outback steak.
But you're not supposed to have sex on the toilet. That's the kind of things they say.
Yeah.
These fucking freaks.
It could
I want a
it
bloomin'
could
onion
break.
so fucking bad right now.
Oh, those are good. Those are very
Really
good.
Some kind of horseradishy sauce.
Fuck.
Any type of fried onion. You ever fuck up some onion bhaji?
Onion
Oh,
bhaji.
yeah,
I
I was
don't know
supposed to
what
have one.
is that?
Yeah.
It's Indian fried onion, deep
shit.
fried onion dish. It's delicious.
It's
there any
very
Usually
place-
served with like a mint sauce or a tamarind sauce. It's incredible.
well. The
close
sauce game is always good. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm close enough to Cincy. I gotta be able to find some good Indians. Fucking go. I'm home.
Here's another thing that I've suggested: a constant debate. The best fry dip. I have recently come to a conclusion that I think sweet Thai chili sauce is actually the best fry
come
dip.
on,
Very
Interesting.
specific.
that's so niche.
It's niche, but it's true. It should be as popular as ketchup, in my opinion.
I need creaminess in the fry
Yes,
sauce.
yes.
Maybe this is my Anglo past haunting me, but I need a mayo component. And
Yep.
like ketchup mayo is kind of the bog standard. Like this has the pieces I'm looking for, a little bit of a vinegar and a spice kind of thing happening. It's just mellowed out by the smooth and creamy mayo. But then you get like Nando's makes like a bottle of that, but there's spicy shit in it too. That's my ideal fry sauce, like a spicy mayo.
They call it like a fancy sauce. It's like it's a
fancy
little bit of ketchup,
sauce.
a little bit of mayo, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder.
I'm kind of spicy mayo when you think about it. It's kind of my aesthetic.
I too am spicy mayo. Yeah.
All white people want to think of themselves as the spicy,
Spicy
mayo. Yeah, all white people. No, I'm not the regular.
I'm not.
I'm the spicy mayo.
I'm the one with olive oil in it.
I'm more of an aioli.
I'm more of an aioli. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we came to a conclusion on Tradwives. Did we come to a conclusion on Tradwives?
Don't care for them.
Don't care. Yeah, I'm not into
Just
them.
like ketchup on their fries. Only
Yes.
ketchup.
Right.
Only
They will not
ketchup.
investigate any of these exotic fry combinations.
No.
Yeah.
They are NPCs. They are the NPCs of fry. I hate the term NPCs.
NPC
Yeah.
it's kind
reductive.
It's kind of like I mean, it's useful for both sides, and it's
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
that that's just an interesting reason why maybe you wouldn't want to use it is because it's being used like you can use it on almost anyone.
Yeah.
And also in game design, you need NPCs for one thing. You need
Sure.
and some NPCs are very interesting. Some
Yeah.
NPCs have a lot to say. Some NPCs are very difficult opponents, So I think it's not perfect. It's not
Yeah.
It's the same fucking outgrowth of smoking weed in high school and one of your friends learns what solipsism is and they're like, oh, it's all just in my head. I'm the fucking main character shit, which is so attractive to very stupid people like me at one point. And I was like, wow, this is fucking, what if it is this? I think it's just that same impulse that floats down through the generations because most people hit a time in their life where they're stupid smart and they want to, that's Joe Rogan is pretty cool.
fool's
Whoa.
intelligent.
I think that's why my favorite thing on Earth is like those parasitic wasps because they're the best at sort of breaking any sort of sense of magic or sense of like wonder or sense of like everything because if it was all in your head, if you're solipsistic, why would you make those parasitic wasps? What were you
real.
thinking making those wasps? Famously it's what inspired Darwin to give up his faith is that life because those wasps that just lay their eggs, they're endoparasitoids. And they lay their eggs in the body of a caterpillar, and then the larva hatch inside the caterpillar and eat it from the inside. Charles Darwin took one look at that, and he was like, "There's no God. There can't be. Why would this happen?"
I think it's a kink thing.
Yeah.
Caterpillars into it. Caterpillars into 4.
There's lots of
inside.
parasite kink for sure. There's lots of bugs like sticking like centipedes up their butts and stuff like that. I've seen that stuff.
Okay. All right.
What is it they call it? Formicophilia. I think that's the one of ants specifically. But there's lots of people that like having insects crawl over them. and that's like they get a sexual thrill from it.
That's cool. I mean, I'd be pretty cool with that. I would try to incorporate that.
The bugs crawling on your dick. You want the bugs crawling on your dick?
I like bugs. I'm pretty
I'm pro bug.
I don't want to kill. Like, I found out that these really scary looking, they look like centipedes. I forget what they're called.
Silverfish.
There's something scary looking, but it turns out they eat cockroaches, so I'm leaving them alone now.
Oh yeah, like house centipedes.
Yeah, house centipedes.
They're friends.
They're so fucking scary looking that I remember being terrified by them as a child.
They are horrifying.
Huge.
And but now that I know they eat cockroaches, I stopped killing them, and less cockroaches.
There you go.
I got to introduce some house centipedes.
I also like cockroaches, so
A little conflicted now about the house centipedes.
might have to do some kind culling of the house centipedes.
HAUS centipede.
House.
There you go.
There you go.
Centipede.
The house centipede.
My place before this was a basement apartment, and I would get spiders and centipedes all fucking day long, constantly. And my cat started getting really good at hunting the centipedes and would just eat them in front of me, like the big, like 3 inches sometimes.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
No, I had nightmares about, because my dog would sometimes eat the cockroaches, and I had a nightmare where he ate so many cockroaches he started turning into a giant cockroach. And I was like, I have to kill you now, and I'm crying as he's
I gotta throw an apple at you now. Lodge an apple in you.
Full on Samsa situation. Goddamn Gregor Samsa situation. But yeah, it's always in play. Also, like, cockroaches are just like a horrible situation, because when you kill them, you sort of empathize with them. You're like, you are me. You're just looking for a warm place to stay, and there's this giant that's constantly stalking you and wanting to smash you for the crime of doing nothing but exist. Yeah. But you gotta smash them anyway, because they're cockroaches. You know?
The crime of being a scuttly little guy. The crime of scuttling. I think scuttling generally is frowned upon, regardless of who does it.
Not a fan of scuttlers, is what you're saying.
I wouldn't kick her out of bed for scuttling.
Turns out she's a scuttler, Jerry. She's a scuttler. She's a scuttler. She scuttles. Dating a crab, they're dating.
Scuttling up and down the hall.
Yeah. It's going up and down the hall. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, and the scuttling is keeping Kramer up, so he starts going crazy because he's not sleeping. I'm on no sleep.
Can we briefly discuss Nothing Forever, I think is what it's called?
The Seinfeld AI.
Yeah. Somebody set up an artificial intelligence to infinitely produce an episode of Seinfeld.
I see this. The why it's people like it is because it's shitty and stupid, and they say random stuff. Yeah, and that's but what's funny is the guys that invented it are actually like AI psychos, and they actually think that this will eventually replace scripted television. Yes, which is what's funny about it. Like, I thought, because initially I was like, I was against AI art, but if this is what AI is used for, I think this is a good use of AI. I think this is funny. Yeah. This is unique. This is its own thing. You know, it's not, it is explicitly not Seinfeld, which is why it's funny. You know, it is like a loose, shitty, like low res version of it. But their end goal apparently is, no, this will replace Seinfeld. We want this to replace Seinfeld.
Structurally, then, you would turn on a channel. And it would be the Infinite Seinfeld episode. Yeah. And you just check in with Kramer and the gang for a minute.
Yeah.
And then you'd leave for, forever long. And you'd go watch Infinite Everyone Loves Raymond and Infinite Simpsons,
I'm in
which
favor.
is already infinite.
I'm in favor of infinite everything.
Yeah. The only problem with Truman Show is that he was a human with like actual feeling. What if
limitations?
Yeah. What if you could construct humans that you could torture eternally in this AI hellscape?
That's called The Sims.
Yeah. It's I have no mouth and I must scream, but it's AI as Seinfeld.
I don't think I was screaming.
Yeah. She wouldn't let me scream, Jerry. I had no mouth, Jerry, and I must scream. AI Seinfeld. There's lots of Twitch. Twitch is something else to me. We were talking on our bonus episode about Twitch as well. The bonus episode that we recorded.
It's a strange place.
and the hyper accelerated quality of it, in terms of like the user interfaces that make me feel like I'm going insane. This is like what madness feels like, just with the chat going really rapidly and all the likes and like and like all the little buttons dinging. It's like a pachinko machine where you win nothing.
That's a really good way to put it. Yeah, I don't know. I have friends that stream a little bit, and they'll just fire up the old streamer box and play some video games, and you kind of watch while they talk about, oh yeah, maybe I'll go over here and explore this cave. And that's fine. That feels okay to me. As soon as it gets a critical mass of people involved, then it's horrifying.
But that's how people love experiencing it, though. That's like that's the ideal Twitch experience to people that came up using it a lot.
It's a separate thing, I feel like. I feel like, generally speaking, that skews towards a younger generation. People who are more around our age, I guess, who are into this stuff, I think tend to be what Audrey's talking about. Like, I'll hop into Twitter Mutual streams where there's like 10 people, they're playing a game, and you can like actually chat back and forth a little bit. It feels like watching your friend play a game, where you can be like, oh, go check that. What was this? Go check this shit out. Yeah. Versus the once you pass the critical mass, it's more like those fucking TikTok videos that are going around of like this some Marxist speaker and then somebody shaving the soap in one corner, and then on the other side it's Subway surfers. Like and then the pachinko shit you're talking about. It's just too many things happening at one time, all over the screen, just constant stimulus. You see, I don't understand it. It scares me.
You see, I have ADHD, so I have already worked on creating that experience for myself. I'll play a video game while listening to a podcast and responding to texts and emails and shit. Yeah, right? Of course.
But those are nice things. I don't need to watch 100 fucking 19-year-olds post a pog face in quick succession.
I get the reason why you want to combine as many different things, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's true.
It's the Blumpkin thing. It's you're wanting to combine all the pleasures.
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever did that. I put on Chumbawamba Tub Thumping, the album, and played Mega Man X3.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, "This is pretty good." Doing combining a custom soundtrack over a video game. This is a good flavor.
It's a good time.
When I really wanted like sort of mental deadening amount of entertainment, I would set up. I had one TV, but I got the idea from The Simpsons that you could simulate that with snacks. So I would set up elaborate amounts of snacks, like all around me, so I could do what Homer did, where he's like eating like over his shoulder. He's like taking a soda from behind his head, and just I would make myself feel better with snacks that way.
I love that.
Different varieties of snacks. You go to your peanuts, you go to your Lay's, your Doritos.
Well, you have to get like cheesy, salty, crunchy, chocolatey, and then you go in.
Get them contrasts going.
You start going in order.
You're playing food jazz, baby. Improvising in here.
It's more about the food you don't eat,
like greens.
Yeah.
I had this too, like early pandemic, where it was just kind of like, I'm just trying to teleport through fucking time, man. I'm just trying to numb every possible bad emotion right now. Or I was kind of doing that with illegal drugs. And beverages. Yes. Where I was like, I'm taking kava and kratom. I've got a nicotine pouch in. I'm hitting the vape at the same time. I've got some snacks. I've got a fucking seltzer. I've got a coffee. I'm playing a video game. I'm listening to a podcast all at the same time. And like, now that I'm saying all that, that fucking ruled. It was great.
That was really good.
It was not sustainable. It turns out if you do way too much kava, your skin gets all dry and starts peeling, which is the most insane. No. Like, I've never been like addicted to anything hardcore. I've never really had like a dark, I don't know. I have friends who are like ex-opiate addicts and shit. I was just like, what a stupid thing to get addicted to. Or like the ravages of it were me having crusty skin and being itchy for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Deeply unpleasant, but when it was good.
I was drinking 60 beers a week and spending like $50 on Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation 2 was what I was doing.
I wasn't drinking alcohol, and I was like, I'm killing it. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm doing great.
Yeah, you just do it. You're just doing all that kratom, which is. I have never felt more fucked up in my life than I have on kratom.
Really?
I have never like I had like that I did like the cinnamon challenge, but with kratom. And when you know when someone a kratom head like you'll like it, man. It's a nice buzz, man. And then I did too much, and then my mouth was pancaked with dust, and then I was coming up on it, getting the tingles, but it felt like this whole body tingle. And it was just like I had smoked 20 cigarettes at once.
Yes, I get that like weight because I'm a daily kratom user, and I get this like weight on my stomach that kind of like weighs me down because I take enough to get the sedative dose because it's kind of person I am, and you just kind of like whoa, and then I do have to eat something shortly after, or I will have bad tummy.
Okay.
I don't want bad tummy.
It's like a weighted blanket for your guts.
Yes, for my entire alimentary canal.
Nice.
Hell
it's
yeah.
also just like a bunch of insoluble fiber and like the little opiate effect to it. So your poops, they're gonna be regular as fuck. I tell you what.
Okay.
I get no
promo
white
code.
Charlies with regularity. I actually do have an affiliate link at Viable. We should start sharing it on the show.
That's a good idea. Let's get our entire user base.
We were talking about streaming and relationships, and the one thing did you see that video of that Twitch streamer Hriok? Apparently is this person's name.
It was this. He's crying. The girlfriend's crying.
The one with the crying
background.
guy, and he's apologizing in front of his wife for looking at deepfake porn of their Twitch stars. Did you see this video? See this video that was going around?
I hate it. I haven't seen it, but I hate it.
Yeah, you should hate it. It's like it's obvious, but it's like the perfect encapsulation of all the negativity of our zeitgeist that is currently going on.
It would be like if me and Corla had a huge fight about like a new partner that she's developing, and then like we turned it into content.
Yeah,
like that would suck shit.
All around, just kind of fucking gross.
Yeah.
I don't love it.
You can't monetize everything. You
can
can't
monetize everything. That's what the movie Nope was about. It's about how you should do that. It won't chew you up and spit you out. You won't be trapped inside a gigantic circus anus,
So what you're saying here is there's a market for deepfakes of streamers.
I got a graphics card in this thing. I can get some deep fakes going.
Oh, man. Can you imagine that's like what you do for a living? You make deep fakes of, like, how can you feel? You got to be the slimiest person.
Let's make deep fakes of leftist podcasters. Okay,
How do they know what their face is like? It's an audio medium.
I bet you could sell Felix some Tropo deep fakes.
Oh, I would buy those so quickly.
He's a pretty good looking dude.
He's an attractive man.
He's all right.
I don't know. Something about Felix Biederman is very popular in the gay community. I don't know what it is.
Huh. It's because he's a hunk. He's a hunk, and he's always just joking about it. Always just on the edge of like.
He's just joking about it. Like, stop titillating me. Stop titillating me, Felix. Stop
suck a dick finally. Come on.
Yeah.
Or we'll deepfake you. That's the threat.
No.
Sorry, I mean allegedly we will.
Does
that make it safer?
Deepfake you.
Does that make my threat not as much of a threat if I say allegedly about myself?
At the $50 a month tier, we'll deepfake Felix Biederman.
I still don't get that whole deepfake thing because if
get it either.
if people I know enter my sexual fantasies, I stop having the fantasy because it's just too weird. If if someone I'm attracted to like shows up, oh, you're real, and now I have to interact with you after just having masturbated to you. This is strange. I don't like doing that.
I seek out people that resemble people from my personal life and go like, yeah, it's close enough.
That's what you got to do. You got to get your doppelgangers.
That's right.
It's just too uncanny valley for me. And like, even if you got the technology to a place where it's like indistinguishable, like you have to know, I imagine, that somebody's being deep faked as opposed to making stuff because they would be posting about making stuff or whatever. But just the idea of like, I'm jerking off to the output of a bizarre algorithm that is mashing up just like pieces of the world that I live in into this. So it becomes like just kind of weirdly clinical and like sciencey to me in a way where I have zero interest in that. I haven't like watched any of this stuff, but just conceptually, I don't want that. Just fantasize about somebody. What are you doing? What the fuck?
Use the graphics processor in your brain.
It's called your freaking brain. Heard of it?
Dono, did you happen to see the thread of the AI generated porn?
I don't think so. No.
It is creepy. I
imagine.
Are there like breasts where they're not supposed to? Are there like penises where they're not supposed to be?
Multiple penises, like the fingers. 5
Pornpen.ai, AI generated porn. I accept.
There you go. I imagine it's like mostly hentai. That's probably what it would. No, it's real people.
Well, yeah, but
it's photorealistic. Yeah,
it's photorealistic.
I'm seeing it right now. A lot of it's very smooth. We'll say I'm seeing a lot of pregnancy.
I mean, there's
okay.
There's one of an old lady in a bath in a not a bathtub, in like a hot tub.
Wait, this is xenomorph. Hold on.
I'm
previous.
Link me this. What the fuck?
This is insane.
We're watching this AI porn.
This is a lot that I'm experiencing.
Try to describe to the listener what you're seeing, Audrey.
Okay, it's like, so it's this AI is just spitting out. It's just spitting out output. Just a lot of output, and it's mostly just it's like nude women that aren't real. And there's some that are being penetrated by a penis.
Oh wow!
Some look more realistic than others. You can turn live off, so you can make it so that you can go, oh, that one. Let's look at that one for a minute.
See, this is what Twitch is like to me. This is like I can't focus on any of this. I can't.
No, same.
What the fuck?
I would recommend clicking on the link I also sent in the chat.
That's what I'm going through.
The more odd ones picked out.
Sure.
There's a mouth coming out of this woman's titty.
Yeah, I could see how that could be hot.
There's a lot of mistakes, and it's the mistakes that are interesting to us.
Yeah.
Because the bodies are like very, very strange.
Oh, the very first one with the shower.
Yeah.
Where it looks like she's has a torrent of water coming off of her vagina. Very good.
This is a normal looking woman, except for she has 2 assholes.
That's
pretty cool.
Steven, I've seen the one of the grandma in the hot tub, and it's very interesting because she has the breasts of a young woman as well. The AI was not able to do old bosoms. So for some reason it can't master that. But also what's funny about the grandma photo is it looks like she's literally melting into the hot tub.
Yeah.
Like the hot tub has become grandma goo.
It's terrifying. I had to stop looking at the thread because it was too terrifying.
It's no good.
No, this shit bangs. I fucking love this.
This feels like a bad acid trip.
It does.
I don't like this.
If you've ever had been on acid and things get somewhat sexual, the way I dealt with it, I put on some Mozart. It was really good. After
look
I
at
did
fucking
that.
this one. There's a certain.
Trust me, it'll cheer you right up.
It brings up the sense of like you're looking at like us. Allegedly, if you were to look at like wood grain or something and everything's kind of wiggling, but if you look at something, it kind of stops, but like it's not quite right. Something's moving in the corner of your eye. Like this stuff makes me feel like there's nothing to ground my eyeballs on.
Right.
Like this beautiful lady has blue hair and she looks, very kind of like airbrushed. But the proportions, I don't know, all the parts are there. The number of fingers are normal. And she has like blue hair with braids and they're covering her big titties. But then like the nipples are just kind of coming through the hair and not like parting it. They're just like, they're kind of blue also. They're peeking through this.
The uncanny quality of a lot of these that are produced, it gives you a strange quality, especially because if like one part of the picture looks normal, but then your eye moves over to another part and you're like, oh no, something.
And then you start noticing more and more and more.
Yeah. This is a glimpse into a horrible other world. There's a sketch on Mr. Show where it's the mom and pop porn shop, and the big corporations are trying to run out the mom and pop porn shop. And at one point, Jill Talley is admonishing David Cross for using a CD-ROM, for using computer porn. Look at this magazine. You can run your hands across it. It's a physical thing, you know. You're jerking off with a machine. Can you even countenance that, you know? And I sort of feel like that now. It's like we used to have real porn that we made with our hands.
We used to make things in this country, like Frank Sabatka from fucking The Wire.
Yeah, now we just put our many-fingered hands in the other guy's pocket.
I can't look away.
You have to look away.
Through this Twitter thread.
You have to pull yourself away.
So upsetting.
A Twitter thread of AI pornography mistakes.
That Steven sent. Oh, what the fuck?
It is fascinating.
I'm done.
I did spend a long time just now staring at the pornpen.ai feed.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could never achieve to it. And I don't find it erotic. I find it fascinating.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a very good
PhD
distinction.
in there for real about psychology, because it's all coming from our brains.
Yeah. You might as well just have something that just flashes the word porn over and over again. It's like, oh my god, this is so hot. Women are so over.
We need to start clockwork oranging people to the AI porn. Okay?
Yeah.
Because we're clockwork oranging them to regular porn right now.
Yeah.
And we're not getting enough crazy psychos. You know?
No, it's not rapid enough.
We need ultra violence generated by AI.
There is a primal fear that I am getting from all of this. I think that's when there's like a nausea deep in my stomach when I see this, and it's not overwhelming, but it's omnipresent. I'm like, this isn't going. There's no good conclusion to this. This isn't going anywhere good. Right?
What do you say? You don't want your AI waifu? Your waifu?
No.
AI waifu?
Well, there's already
Aifu?
There's already Christ AI in there.
Yeah.
Christ.
There's already Christ. There's a guy.
Holy
There's someone
Christ.
trying to start that as a religion where AI is Jesus, who's come back from
Oh my god.
the as foretold. Which I think did he foretell? I don't remember.
I saw a thing that suggested that Mr. Beast is the Antichrist the other day. I thought that was pretty fun.
Yes.
And
100
AI
million
is
percent.
Jesus, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So AI will fight Mr. Beast. He's literally going to fight the algorithm. That's going to be his the ultimate.
He keeps showing up on my Facebook.
Is his mouth stuck like that? Is that kind of the bit?
Yeah. He's always soy facing.
Fucking picture. What the fuck is that?
I'm sure
hate
he
this
crunched
reality.
the numbers. I'm sure it was like, when I make this face, people click on the video more.
That's true. No, that is true. That is why they all make that face now.
Yeah.
So.
I spent 2009 soy facing, and I'm deeply embarrassed by it.
I can't. It's fine to soy face. Let's take back the soy face. Why are public displays of joy so frowned upon? Why can't you open your mouth
2009
wide?
is
I got a pretty good soy face too.
Yeah,
That's
me
a good
too.
year to have done
Yeah.
it. I think that's a fine year to have done that. It was perfectly acceptable.
I just when they show the bottom and top row of teeth, that's not joy to me.
That's
your
pogging.
face.
Pogging is when you have both rows.
Your face has become warped.
It does. It's horrible.
Is that anything like a story where like fucking Mr. Beast, like the algorithm is saying you have to do this to get the views, and his face just gets stuck like that? I have a
face?
mouth and I must soy face, something like this.
That's it. We'll all be soy facing soon. Soon it will be, we will all, that is how it's like that movie Smile, but with soy face.
People
I
keep
didn't see
referencing this thing. And I don't watch movies, but it sounds like a scary time, but I don't want to see it because I don't want to be scared. I got
You could just look at the AI porn thread instead and have like a deeply unsettled, uncanny feeling.
What fear?
Oh my god.
It's come to the time of plugs. I just was captivated by a news article that Austin Butler was not able to stop doing the Elvis voice for 2 years. after reviewing the show Elvis. Poor Austin Butler. He says he's permanently damaged his vocal cords. So go to cosmopolitan.com/entertainment/celebs.
Where are you plugging Cosmo?
I'm plugging Cosmo.
These are the plugs we're talking
This
about.
is
Not
the
your
plug
show.
section of
Not
the
your
show. And
I'm
I'm just plugging Cosmo.com. Austin Butler, R.I.P. He's gotten rid of it.
R.I.P. He's alive. Are you saying Austin Butler's Elvis voice?
Elvis
R.I.P.
voice has died.
Okay.
Folks,
His
anything
Elvis
you would
voice
like to
has left
plug?
the building. Donovan, hit him with the RFTB plug.
It's a show about relationships. Radio Free Tote Bag. That's our dating advice program. We just had both Alex and Steven on last week. We've had Alex on a couple bonuses, and a few months back, we got I don't know, we have some other like mutual guests. We run in some similar Twitter circles. I feel like if you appreciate the kind of tone and humor of y'all's show, I feel like you'd appreciate us too. But we mostly answered listener questions. You got a broken heart, you got like somebody you want to go on a date with, you don't know how to ask them, you can send shit to our question box. I've had a lot of sex. I've dated a lot of people. I give pretty good advice, and Audrey's the same.
I was
We're
gonna
not
say, it
experts.
sounds like you're saying I have not when you say it that way.
And my
I've had a lot
incel
of
partner
sex.
Audrey balances the flow of the show. No, I don't know. It's good. We give sex and relationship advice. It's a goofy show, but we're very sincere about the advice we give. We have a very cool community. Check us out. rftb.me. That's the website.
I would like to hit you with an additional plug for a program that I do with my partner Corlett. It's called Data Transfer. It's a trans feminine reading of the Digimon Adventures animated series. It is an unhinged time. It's like
insane.
The way I always put it is like, I would love to have my mother listen to the relationship advice program that I do, because while it is sexually explicit, it has a good heart. You know what I mean? I think it would really show my mother how much I've grown as a person, and she would be proud of me. Do not listen to the mom. Please do not listen to the one where I talk about fan art of Digimon with my partner.
Fan art.
I think we're all changing into digital champions to save the digital world.
Yes,
true.
we have to.
Yeah,
We
Absolutely.
got to defeat Myotismon.
yeah, and later Malomyotismon.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a useful plug. I'm giving a talk. We've been doing the podcast for almost 5 years. There's a thing in Chicago called Art Night Chicago. Good group of people. People go up and do presentations on the shit that they make. First Friday of March. If you're around here, I'm doing a talk. It's going to be great. I'm probably going to like answer questions while I'm up there. Or there's going to be slides. You can talk to me. I'm really cool.
You're going to prepare a deck.
I'm preparing a deck. If you listen to the show and you're like, that's pretty good, come see me. That would be cool.
Yeah, if you're in the Chicagoland area,
What's
we're talking
the date?
Joliet.
What's the date?
Wilmette.
The first Friday of March, and let me just pull up my calendar.
The first Friday of March. We're sending
3rd.
you March 3rd.
March 3rd.
March 3rd, a talk at what's the venue again?
If you look up Art Night Chicago on like Instagram, I think that's where mostly is, because they've been kind of increasing the size of the venues, and I think they're switching it again with this next one. But if you're interested in that kind of thing, hey, come see me. Tell them House of Decline sent you. Wait, tell me House of Decline.
Well, and what will that get them?
That'll get you a
Will that get him a mattress? Will that get him a good mattress deal?
You'll get a cool high five, buckaroo. I'll fist bump you.
Okay, well, we're going to promote this for the next 2 weeks. Going to start buying
people
ads in Chicago.
Flooding the venue.
Going to
Put
get
me
on the
a billboard.
radio. Like 50 people were going to say House of Decline.
Just get mobbed.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, well, Alex, what are we plugging?
What are we plugging? I guess we need to plug our show as well. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/House of Decline. Also go to our website where we have all of the stuff you can read together on it if you're not reading it on Twitter. And, live your life. Do
And
what
if you
want.
want links of all those things, go to the description of the podcast you're listening to. You'll find them all there. Thank you for listening, everyone. We'll talk to you next week. And goodbye.
Later.
See ya.
Bye.